all right, it's family politics, right? And this is what I'm thinking. They took part, or some of the metal, from the World Trade Center, melted it down, and made it into part of the front of the latest carrier they're building. And it's like right at the part of the prow that hits the water. And it's this idea that, well, this is the World Trade Center, leading the fleet, leading this mighty engine of war in the battle, kind of thing. And even though most of what that carrier will be doing is just patrolling, and for safety and training courses. But when it's time for battle, that's the idea, and they'll bring up that fact, and you just have to think and wonder, like, so this is America's like anger. This is America's fury being mounted onto an engine of evil, or I'm not evil. What am I saying? Well, that's different ways you can interpret it too. It's like it's an engine of power. It's an engine of defense. It's an engine of offense. It's an engine of hope. Because you park a carrier group off in some place, people are like, hey, that's what we want, And then it can be an engine of doom for other people. You take it to the Persian Gulf, and people are like, okay, how many cruise missiles are they going to launch at us now, kind of thing. Or you could say it's an engine of just like, what's the word to describe just like obliteration, carnage. It's an engine of carnage. Even. And I see, this is why I'm always kind of like, you really don't want to associate your emotionally impactful memories with devices, with things that can be used. And the reason why is because well, then you justify the use of that tool in terms of that event. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of think that this is not a path that we should be taking in namings, or like taking metal from the World Trade Center and putting it into our war machines. Because I think that.
No, I think we should.
And why should we? Well, like,
I think it's got great symbolism.
Yeah, it's great. It's great symbolism. But what is the symbolism then? What's your interpretation of the symbolism?
Oh, you knock down our buildings? Fine. We'll recast them as weapons and come back at you.
Okay. We'll take our plowshares and bang them into swords.
Bang them back into swords,
yeah.
No, I don't have any problem with that. It probably helps inspire the people that are building this.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Because since this is considered a war, it's like America can literally do what it did during World War II, and that is access this incredible amount of wealth it has, or it can harness a lot of wealth and throw it at any problem, because that was how you won World War II, was you just focused so much money into the defense, and thus were able to outproduce the enemy.
Well, God, did you hear that? 16 million men underarmed on a nation of 123 million.
123 million, 16 million. That's
pretty incredible.
That's what, 3% of population?
Oh, it's more than that.
Or 5%? About 10%. I think.
No,
well, the most you can push
like
it is 10%.
Over 10%.
I think the most you can push it is 10%, and then it's just you can't. You just can't have an army and be larger than 10% of your population. Because even then, that's what China has. They have a million-man army, a 100 million man army. Where are you going?
I'm eating food.
Okay. Fine.